Speaking about players who are going to have to find a way to fit in, Kalvin Phillips is on his way to Manchester City. This has been made official, signed for £42 million plus $3 million
well, he
in
won't have to
add-ons.
find a way to fit in, Kay. He'll just need to find a way to get in.
Well, yes. Is he going to be Rodri's understudy then, Craig?
Well, Fernandinho's not there anymore, and Fernandinho has been and was at Man City a magnificent player. I mean, even into his mid-30s, just so dynamic, even playing centre-half and full-back at times last year. But, Rodri's come in and I think he's been brilliant. If there's one sort of more defensive midfielder, yeah, it's going to be tougher for Phillips, but it's a chance for Guardiola to rotate again. He may play both at times. I don't think he'll need to, per se, in the Premier League, where they'll bludgeon most of the teams, along with Liverpool. But maybe in the big European games, there's a place maybe for a couple of them. And of course, Bernardo Silva's made it clear that are sort of muddied the waters a little bit in terms of his future. So things could change. When I think Kalvin Phillips is a terrific player, but it's a big step going to Man City. And fitting in, and getting in there. I'm not saying those words. Ask Jack Grealish.
Well, I want to go to Mark on this because obviously Erling Haaland's come in, as we can see there. Have there been any rumblings around Manchester, Mark, that Pep may change formations to fit some of these players in?
Hey. Yeah, I think he's scratching his head to fit all these in all the time, isn't it? No, listen, Pep just does what he does. He's got so many players in the same position, but they all fit in. They all kind of, there's a front six and they all move around and rotate around. I don't, will he have to change things for Erling Haaland? I don't think so. I just think you play to Erling Haaland's strengths and you get the ball to him quickly and he'll run at defenders, or you can get to the byline cross and he'll be there tapping it in the 6-yard box. So, like Craig says, great players just fit in, don't they?
Oh no! I wish they hadn't brought this up, Augie.
Ian, just don't say fit in. Tell us what you think about this move.
Well, I think it's interesting for Kalvin Phillips because you've got the World Cup coming up in the middle of November, so he'll want lots of minutes and to be pretty much centre stage playing for Manchester City. But I don't think he's going to get in the team for the biggest games because Rodri is the defensive midfield player, the number one. He's been in excellent form. I don't see Phillips getting past him. So I think the only way he plays is if they go with two number sixes in front of the defence, which, as Craig says, they might do for certain tough European games, but not very many. So I just wonder if he's going to spend quite a lot of time on the bench, Kalvin Phillips, which isn't ideal. I think the other point with him is this. It's the Jack Grealish problem. Jack Grealish has admitted this. I mean, at Aston Villa, he was a big fish, like Kalvin Phillips was a big fish at Leeds. Now he's just another player when you go to Manchester City. So Phillips has that little psychological thing, I think, to overcome as well. But hey, look, they've got 5 subs this year. They've got a whole stack of games because they're going to have a crowd, everything into all the midweeks going up to mid-November to get it all in ahead of the World Cup. So I think they're all going to get enough minutes when push comes to shove.
Mark, let's talk about another transfer in the transfer mill and all those rumours. Tyler Adams to Leeds. What more can you tell us about this?
Well, Leeds are pretty confident this will get done. Maybe £18-20 million. It's another American player after signing Aronson. So, Jesse Marsh has been given the chance to rebuild at Leeds. And, it's a good sign. He's a Champions League player, a regular for the US. Decent fee. So I think it's a good bit of business by Leeds. I still think they need to, find a bit more quality all over the pitch. But, for that sort of money, £18-20 million, it's a really good deal. And I think, he'll play a lot of games. And it's a chance for him to, use Leeds as a stepping stone. Leeds are a big club, but, it could go further.
Let me go to Mr. Go-Go USA. What do you think? Is this a good move for Adams and Leeds?
Well, they're going to be the club, aren't they? Certainly the fans in the United States are going to be looking at with an American manager. Aronson, the US international in the World Cup squad, has been signed as well. Tyler Adams, I mean, I've seen him since he came through. He's a lad from New York State. He's a busy player. I think he's an excellent addition to their squad. But, they've lost Phillips and they've lost Rafinha, so they need to get some high-quality players as well in there now. Otherwise, it's going to be, I think, a tight thing again for Leeds this season if they don't.
At least if we can At least if Leeds get relegated, we can blame the Americans.
Don't do that, Craig. All right.
Well, there's going to be a lot of talk. There's going to be a lot of talk about it because already we've had the following of Jesse Marsh, who did a pretty good job in keeping them up. But as Ian said, when you lose real quality players, Rafinha, there's a reason all those clubs wanted him, and Kalvin Phillips, I think pretty much most teams around Europe would have taken Kalvin Phillips. And when you lose those players, it's not going to be easy. So I could see another. Yeah, I mean, it's all right bringing in players that from different leagues, but I could see this at the moment, losing the players that they have, being a very tough season for Leeds United, unfortunately.
Tyler Adams to Leeds, what are your thoughts on it?
Well, it's a question of love, really. When you think about the lack of love that there was from Tedesco and Tyler Adams at Leipzig, so he became exposed. And Jesse Marsh, and let's not forget about the relationship between Jesse Marsh and Tyler Adams going all the way back to the New York Red Bulls. It became an obvious choice, I think, for both Jesse Marsh and Tyler Adams. That relationship has grown over the years, and for Tyler Adams now becomes an opportunity to go into a team in which he's going to have an opportunity to play, or at the very least compete. I don't think he was going to get that opportunity at Leipzig because the manager in place, Tedesco, had said he's not part of the plans. So I think it was a necessary move for Tyler Adams and for the U.S. men's national team.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN+.